Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binding findies and hellions of all walks of life. My name is Javante, and we are on episode 3 of Blood and Cinders, our 5.19 game campaign story thing. How are you all doing? It's been a while, I say, even though it hasn't. For once, it actually has gone smoothly in my life. We're gonna get started really rapidly. Before we do, go around, introduce yourselves and your characters. Let's start with Panda.
Hi, I'm Red Pandacola. Tonight I will be playing Filtyarn, or Sword Saint.
Ark.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ark, or Ark Like Corp, but tonight I'm playing Orm, the guy who drinks blood.
Pie.
Hello, I am Pie or Pie Guy, everyone's favorite sentient pie, or at least my mom says so. And I am playing Adrian Adelard, resident dad bard, and sometimes gambler.
And Holly.
I'm Holly. I'm playing Kanian, the Pedal Knight Noble.
And where last we left off, absolutely nothing bad happened, as the party, after obtaining some equipment and some goods, happened by a warehouse that was definitely not filled with corpses, and they totally didn't kill a bunch of the cultists that were in there and experience some
remember it
potential
being filled-
waking nightmare.
I remember it being filled with happiness and joy, and there was a DJ, and it was a good time all around.
Ignore the whole wall.
Ignore the hole in the wall, that's just we enter in style.
Yeah.
Or the giant pool of blood in the center of the room that
One
caused
of
a
us
hole in the
happens to be
wall.
swimming in, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no, perfectly
stopped
fine.
swimming.
You guys don't have blood pools at your parties? You're not living.
Nope.
We were just talking about
That's what
Blade.
you-
We were just talking
Well, I
about
was about
Blade.
to
All I
say,
could think
well,
of.
It's just the opening scene from Blade.
Yeah.
Don't worry
It's the
about it.
rave. We're at the rave.
Yeah.
We're at the rave.
Someone hit the music.
So that's where we are.
No, we'll get copyright.
Oh my god. I don't want him specifically to come after me. He's probably knows everyone uses his music.
Probably.
Get him on the show.
Two of you also had a nice little vision from an individual in a strange plane of reality. That's where we left off. The four of you are still in the warehouse at this current juncture.
Are we
Yeah,
getting my
and
clothes
I,
or not?
I remember interrogating Filtyarn about what their
You
connection
started to try,
Yeah.
because, you called him. You said he was going to kill everybody, and he went,
Yeah, that's not a, you know what? That's not an issue. I don't think we ever have to bring that up again. That's perfectly reasonable.
Fucked your
Um,
In fact, I think we ended off after our cutaway of me about to attempt to explain things I might understand or not. I don't know. It all depends if I paid attention or not to my teacher, if she told me things.
We could do it leaving the crime scene.
I'd prefer that.
So I've obviously lived in the city for a while, and memory serves me correctly. There are quite the famously known, that I can't name off the top of my head, guard here in Bloodnet.
Bloodnet.
Yeah, I forget the name of the guards. Do I know anyone personally on the guards that I might be able to tip them off rather than us risking going to greater guard and all of us are suddenly in deep shit? I don't know how high tier the guard are. I don't know if it's just regular.
There
soldiers
are,
on the street
so
thing,
Bloodnet
or-
has two major guards. They have your regular city guards, the people that are paid for by the city essentially to monitor and keep everything in order. Equally, There are Drake guards.
Yeah,
These
those are the big guys I
crimson
was looking
armored
at.
people, these tend to be more like royal guards. People don't really talk to them a
Do I
lot.
know anyone street level?
Um, give me a
Even if it's
history.
just like
Give me a
a
history check.
random Joe.
Yeah, give me a
Okay.
history check just to see if you might.
History. That is a 19.
You do happen to know a couple guards that tend to frequent the bar you stay at, just out of the
Okay.
fact that they tend to go there.
All right, so I will look at everyone and I'll say, well, we want to report this. I know some people that I might trust. But if we just want to wash our hands of this real quick, we can go grab your clothes. Unless you want to report this immediately, because this seems pretty big. And as I said, this seems pretty big. I will look directly at Phil.
We should probably let them know. I'm sure there's plenty of families that need to know their loved ones are dead.
I would agree. So, Orm, I owe you a coat. They should probably...
More than a coat.
Yeah.
And he points down to the mismatched clothes that he took off of the bodies in here because his got ripped up and shredded. He has like a crop top on at one point. There's like half a glove on the other hand. He's like, I just grabbed whatever was loose.
In one of the holes of your shirt, don't forget there's a playing card keeping it patched up.
Unless that fell
But
off.
it's covered in blood.
Which is why it's still stuck on there. Yeah.
So Orm looks like somebody that got kicked off of the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race. So now that we know that,
Still have the coat.
yeah,
This
ties it all
this
together.
warehouse area. Is it just like endless streets, or like I'm picturing like the warehouse district in I think the first major city in the Witcher 3 where it's near water. Like, can we go dunk Orm into the water real quick?
I won't say no, as there is a water supply there. Recall the bar's water.
Water. Yeah, that's true. So I think look at Orm. Everyone. Okay, I'm gonna look at Phil, Tiarn, and Cadian, and I'll just say, are you guys hurt?
Look,
Do they look
if
blood
we just
covered?
look, if we just explain the situation, they're not gonna question it too deeply. We have, proof right over there. And I say this as someone who had to do this. There's proof right over there that we had to fight. And he references the mangled remains of one of the cultists still there.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they're probably going to want to know that there are some Kitsadrian cultists around.
That is fair. Perhaps
Won't do
them
much
being-
good about the druidic races and their, reputation. But it's better to let them know someone is out here trying to use people's blood.
That is very fair, and perhaps the guards I know, they tend to frequent the skin cans. That's not the reputable place, so maybe they won't mind seeing. And then he'll turn to Orm, seeing someone absolutely drenched in blood.
You don't
there's
have like a spell that could just like.
Look,
let me see what I have in my back pocket.
we can literally
It's
say
not
you
mine,
fell in the
please.
pool during the fight. It's a pretty large pool.
As a
You just don't have to say that you dove into it head first.
as a bard, do you not have prestidigitation?
I did not take it. I took everything to boost my gambling skills.
Hell yeah!
So
That's
I'll look at Orm and
Gambling.
I might have skipped that class back when I was training.
Okay, that's perfectly fine.
Orm, this is going to be an awkward check for me to have you make. Could you make me a nature check real quick?
Absolutely.
We love awkward checks.
They're always so good.
Yeah.
15, 16 minus 1.
The blood that's currently coating you is a strange temperature. It's not warm, as in like, oh, it's not like, it should feel more like fresh blood, but it feels colder. It feels like lake water. It also isn't seeping into the clothes you're wearing. It doesn't seem to be staining your skin. It seems to just be like a layer on top.
Okay. This is Anybody else have a water skin on them?
Yes.
I just try my hands real quick.
Yeah, I'll pour some water on you.
The blood, as you see the water hit it, it almost looks as if when you see like oil and water like hit together, there's the film that forms on the top as you see the blood slowly begin to fall away. As it hits the ground, it changes color. It turns into this abyssal black and then begins to sink into the floor.
Oh. It's seeing this and seeing it turn this color, I'm gonna reach into my pouch and I'm just gonna slowly hand Orm a stick of soap. Yeah. You might want to use that too.
Orm proceeds to get naked.
Yep.
Well,
Just no question, no anything. And
It suffices. It does clear the blood off of you, and again, each time that it seems to hit the ground, it turns this color and begins to sink into the floor.
yeah.
When you say sink into the floor, is it like eating at
It
the ground?
it genuinely
Or just
it seems like it's just
seeping?
melding into the concrete, not like eating away at it, but just sinking in and vanishing.
So yeah, like kind of maybe stand there like this, make sure Orm's behind the hand. Is that blood a problem? What's going on here? That doesn't
Could
seem
I
right.
make a check of some sort to figure out what the
Give me an Arcana check.
will do?
while you're making that check, I'm gonna just reach into my pack and spray Orm with perfume.
That's a 19.
The blood seems to be taking on attributes of a different plane before it fades away. You would guess, with the color it's taking on, it doesn't seem to be the water plane. It seems to be Shadowfell.
I
Or
was about to say, is
type
it the
of
realm of shadows?
yes.
So it's kind of resonating with me like that pool did before. Okay. So whatever they were trying to do here, whatever ritual they were doing involved the plane of shadows.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, I don't
Very
know a
Yuri
lot about
here.
that, but
It has to involve some kind of yokai.
So more of what we just fought.
You all begin to hear the sound of armored footsteps.
Yeah. Does it sound like guards?
It sounds like guard. Yeah.
I
Okay.
stay naked.
Yes.
Can
I'm gonna move towards the hole to kind of like get out in front of it all.
Yeah, I'll.
And then as he's doing, motion over to Adrian to follow him.
You got exactly. I was just gonna say I'd be right behind him and maybe like maybe look back at Cadian and Orm and be like, specifically like saying this to Cadian, the still naked Orm who you just now sprayed perfume on. So at least he's gonna smell good for the guards and make like a hide him motion and put him behind a box.
Hold on a second. Can you pour some of this water on my back for me real quick, Adrian?
Yeah. That's my drinking water.
No, he's offering you his water skin that has the good water in it. He was testing his idea with the little bit you gave him. He's been cleaning himself with the water from his water skin the rest of this time. Only put the pants, boots, and jacket on. No shirt.
I hate that.
So Devil May Cry 3, got it.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll like pull up a document. 'cause
So
have to
I
get a
did the
specific name.
perfume because Orm dipped in blood. That's gotta smell.
To note, there is no smell.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I think two of us would be able to tell
the smell went
distinctly
away.
the copper. If there's no smell there, that's even confirming more.
Mm.
Sorry, I had to look up the name of a very specific thing.
No worries.
Give me the thing anyway. I don't.
As while you're looking that up, as we're heading towards the hole, he's just gonna, slightly turn his head towards Adrian as they're moving towards the hole. He let him know, like, hey, he's, talking to you. I just need you to help me convince them. Most people tend not to believe me. I'm not a people person. I know it's hard to believe that, but I don't always get along with everybody.
Hand on shoulder, like, don't worry, you're doing good. I'm a great people person.
Slowly turns his head under the hood towards your hand.
Take my hand off your shoulder. This is what I'm here for. I'm good at talking people into things. I'm good at talking people out of things. I will talk you into being my friend one day, sir. It will happen, and unfortunately, you can't say it because I'm that friendly of a guy, and it's like you're stuck with me, and I will learn what's going on behind that hood, and I'll bet money on it.
Outside,
Focus on the task at hand.
There is a massive thud against the ground as something large lands by the warehouse, and then you hear more armor as if something is like dropped down from the back of something.
Oh, do we see it?
As
think
you see
Adrian might
standing
know what
in
it might
front,
be.
as you see standing in front of the hole, a figure in bright crimson red armor, from head to toe, holding a very ornate-looking lance, and directly behind them stands a large red drake. You would recognize this since you live here. This is a Bloodseeker and a Bloodwood Drake. These are essentially the major knights of BloodNet. And I will have an image for them in our chat momentarily.
Okay, so maybe seeing this, it's like a brief whisper to Filtyarn, and it's like we can't run for that so we should really get our words straight here.
Trust me, I'm already aware of things like this. It's no different from the wave drakes back at home.
and I'm gonna look at this man like, are you fighting drakes on the daily? Like, he doesn't say that, but he gives you the look of like, this is normal? Like, I know I live here and I've heard of these guys and
The
I maybe
Rising
have
Peaks
seen
is
one
a
time.
interesting place.
An image has been posted in our Monsters and Enemies chat if you'd like to see what they look like.
Oh, those guys, that looks like a brutal. That thing's
Yeah.
got muscles on its muscles.
That reminds me. Can I grab that cool little spiked pauldron that was on the shaman, the cultist?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You can pick that up.
I fixed that onto the jacket.
Okay.
I am
Yeah.
trying to get out of view. I
Give me
Just
a
stay behind me.
Give me a stealth
Just
check.
stay behind me.
invisibly.
Just give me a stealth check for
Well,
me real quick.
Well,
I would love to. I have advantage on those, I believe.
Luckily, our entrance is a very orm-sized hole, and with me and Filthy aren't standing there, we provide cover at least for the stealth because he's got to look in past us. It's a normal guy-sized
Yeah.
hole.
Also, my magic item is the boots of Elvenkind.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
Always fall back on a classic. Okay, so
After giving it a read through, especially for our gambler bard, hi, Nat 19 released a new splash book that you all should take a look at.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah.
got a 10.
Got a 10? I'll let you know how that goes for you. As
No.
you see this,
Rolled a 5.
as you see this armored figure looks around at the warehouse itself, looks at the orm-shaped hole that has been made, and then looks to the two of you standing in the front. We got an alert there were some suspicious noises and activities going on. You mind telling me what happened?
Oh, gladly. In fact, we just kind of finished dealing with the problem. See, and he'll adjust enough to let them see the mess. We kind of came across this. There were. How would you describe them? He'll look at Adrian to kind of better describe the mess. Words is not his strong suit.
Yes, looking at everything, I would describe it as a very violent ordeal. There were villains to the city within this warehouse, and we were fortunate enough to be in the area. If you need any identification, I am a known guild member. I am permitted to work in the city, and we heard commotion. We've dealt with the commotion. Everything has been cleared up, but an invitation, extend an invitation for you to investigate would always be welcome beyond the capabilities of a mere group such as us.
Kind of,
My best guess is they're trying some sort of blood ritual.
Yes, lots of blood.
kind of looks between the two of you. Was anyone injured?
I'll live.
You'll live.
I've had worse. And I'll say that with the most utmost seriousness. Yeah, no, he's dealt with worse than what he dealt with.
There's another like look between the group. Peers back over and to definitely see a naked Orm essentially with the pauldron. Oh yeah, you put your clothes on, didn't you?
Put my pants
the
on.
shirt.
I
Pants.
put
Not
the
my
shirt.
boots on. I put my jacket on.
Yeah. Is
And I'm lifting up the remains of that
Yeah.
cultist body out of the crater that I had him in, and I'm just dragging that towards the hole.
Most notably, their
Kid
the main
Sergeant.
one was a Kid Sergeant, yeah.
Odd.
The others were shadowy monsters.
Odd. We don't get a lot of Katsadria here.
I'd imagine not. Most don't like to be known.
And you're saying, like, kind of looks back over. You can see, like, even through some of the pauldron that they're, like, weighing options of how they want to go about doing this. Strictly speaking, we're supposed to take you all in just for more questioning.
I mean, we're all supposed to be doing a job at an auction.
Yes, we do have some.
This is just something we happened to come across. And we were going to let you all know about this anyway, given I'm sure there are many people who need to know their family has suffered losses first.
That and this could potentially be a threat to the whole thing.
We were quite literally on our way
Not
to
doubting
alert you.
that.
Like, you see him just kind of reach back and just run the lance against the armor, just still thinking, I could...
Look,
Right.
I'm just gonna propose this. Bring it to your superiors, because I'm familiar with how much of a mess this can be. Run it by them. I'm sure they're gonna want that auction to keep going because nobles, am I right?
Yeah.
And think of it like this. While you may have more questions for us, we do not want to disrupt that auction, and considering we will be readily available at the auction, if you have any questions, we're there already to ask. Saves you some potential paperwork, as we're already there in your presence.
Tell you what, because this is already going to be another extra shift on top of what I'm doing for this auction. We handled the situation. You were the ones that called in and did the report. We'll go from there. If this leads to any investigation, I will have to contact you all for further information. That work for you all?
That's fine with me.
Sounds more than reasonable.
Where do you want this?
Leave it preferably where you presumably found it.
More like where he left it after the fight, but
I didn't hear
Drags
that.
it back.
look, we defended ourselves after hearing disturbance.
It's less so. Strictly speaking, I believe you. Because gestures to Adrian, because I know that one. So strictly speaking, I believe you. It's just for my own sake of not having to do any more stuff for stuffy nobles. I didn't hear that you guys fought.
Yes,
All right.
my friend here meant to say we caught you on a leisurely stroll.
Yes. Clear the area, and hope you enjoy the auction if that's where you're going. I'll get this taken care of.
Somehow I don't think we're going to be enjoying it as much as we want.
You and me both.
No, be wine.
And the payday.
And as he heads back over to his drake, and you see him start to gather some supplies from a saddle on its back, you all are free to exit at your leisure.
And do so that he will.
I'm gonna do the thing that all DMs hate, because before he leaves, I'm gonna point to the drake and go, does it have a name? I'm gonna ask the DM for a name.
I already had one for it. Scorn.
Scorn. That is a mighty beast you have there.
She's been a companion as long as I've been a Bloodseeker, so.
Well,
Just gives
I
her,
wish you.
like, scratches underneath the chin as she just lets out this, like.
I wish the two of you nothing but good fortune and to enjoy the rest of your stroll.
Have a good evening.
He'll just nod his head and wait for everyone to leave. And
Got him out.
if Orm comes back, it's probably like so about those clothing.
I'm standing on the other. I'm still on the inside of the hole until all of them are gone.
So waiting for the buddy you're hiding to.
Yep.
I'll say with the roll you were able to also get yourself out as he turned around so that he can't see you escaping.
So this definitely needs to be covered up.
Yes.
The local haberdashery that you would know of, not too far from here, is owned by a lovely halfling woman by the name of Auntie. You do not know her first name. She has chosen not to give this to you. Everyone just calls her Auntie because that's just how she likes to be referred to.
Before we make our way there, and like we're all back together as a group, does the Drake, does he fly off?
He's
Or is
still
he staying around?
he's gathering supplies to do a further investigation of the area.
Okay, so if he left, I was about to ask Orm, like, hey Orm, you're strong, right? Can you just pull a box in front of that hole you made so no one walks in? But if he's setting up an investigation,
He's setting up
then
an area, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there is an area being made to essentially keep them from
Police tape
Yeah.
and yeah.
ye old police tape.
Ye old police tape.
Ye old
Yellow
caution.
ribbons.
To be fair, the version that would exist for this time would be the massive Bloodwood Drake.
Yeah, that I feel like that's probably a pretty solid do not enter.
It is a large creature, so
I mean, compared to, I'm picturing like, yeah, being a large creature, it's probably the size of like a regular house in the area, right?
yes.
Yeah.
They are large enough to be ridden upon by like an average human or a Goliath, being genuine. So
Are the guard all? Is he of human stature?
he's pretty tall. You would reckon either he's human or at least half Goliath. He's tall.
Okay. All right.
There's so many tall folk in this town.
Yeah. Quite a selection.
To be fair, some aren't from here. Some are here for the auction.
Oh boy, I think it'd probably fit in with the Arcoons where I'm from. Given your
What?
stature.
Oh, that would make sense.
Hmm.
I'm half one. But something has been nagging me. Why do this now? The ritual, I mean. Like, during the day, it all seems so... We literally stumbled into it.
Maybe they didn't expect anyone. What better time than to cause mayhem than right before a big event? Just got unlucky that we happened to have someone who's
something
able to burst through
involving
wall.
when something involving a lot of, for lack of a better term, VIPs are happening in a certain area, they all tend to focus on that area to make sure nothing goes wrong, leaving the outskirts to be generally ignored. So, if not now, when?
Right. It makes sense. all seems so wrong.
Why don't we get some new clothing for our friend here? And we'll point to Orm, and then we can figure out what we're going to do after.
Do you know of any places that have a lot of water? Around here?
Well, if I consult my handy dandy
You'd have to be
PDF.
You'd have to be specific. Do you mean, would you mean like a place that stores water for use or drinking water?
Or like
just a
ocean.
location with water?
A location with water, knowing how my teacher is.
So, I'm not going to make you roll for this because you're from here. Outside of the city, there are several trails that lead into the forests surrounding Bloodnet. In some of these forests, and one especially, there is a lake that tends to not be super frequented on the grounds that it's outside of the city, which means that if a creature chooses to attack, the guards can't really do much because you're not in there.
Mm-hmm.
But people do go there just to relax.
All right. I'll pass this knowledge on to Filtyarn. You know, there's one spot that is fairly secluded if you worry about eyes on you, but the guards don't have much sway there, as it is beyond the walls.
Would that sound like somewhere she would?
A secluded lake by a forest people don't go to? Yeah, that sounds like where she would hang out.
I figured, but safer to ask.
Sounds like my kind of lake.
How far outside of the city is it?
I mean, it'd probably be maybe an hour walk.
Not too far.
If I look up at the sky, what's the time of day looking like?
We're pushing into late afternoon.
Okay, so, and the auction's tomorrow?
Auction is tomorrow evening.
Okay, so we still got plenty of time. Look, I'm not the most knowledgeable about what's going on. I might know someone who might. But let's first get Orm his clothes.
Yes, I agree. Off to Auntie's.
Auntie's shop, called Stitches and Sews. It's a cute little. It doesn't even look like a shop. It literally just looks like a house smooshed between a bunch of other shops, like a nice little cottage. Even has a little chimney. The door is open, and you can see somebody like running around, rummaging through things. If you are going to step in, she will stop like moving around as she sees you all step in, and looks up. You see a tiny halfling, deep chocolate brown skin, hair in curlers, wearing a kind of floral pinkish dress and a little apron as she looks up at you. Well, heavens, child. You look downright peaked. Come on in, come on in.
Yes. Hello, Auntie. Walk in, present Orm, or when Orm walks in. What type of style do you think would fit my friend here? He's in need of some new wares.
To declare, he is definitely in need of some new wares. Let me see. Let me get a look at you. And you see her walking around, circling. Just every now and again, she'll take like a little tape measure and do a little measurement on the inseams.
Orm takes the jacket off and like lays it over to the side and just stands there waiting.
She gives this little quizzical look as she looks up at Orm. Now, you don't strike me as somebody that has what would be the fancy way of saying aristocratic styles? You're more of a doer, ain't you?
I did at one time. I find myself in more hands-on tasks as of late.
Would you like long sleeves or cutoffs?
Cutoffs would save me more visits, but I would like something with a little bit more of a higher collar.
I can arrange for that, surely. Now, I don't suppose that my good friend over here is going to be paying for you. She gives you a pointed look.
Oh, he will be.
It's on me.
Now, where did you get the coin for anything to be on you, sir? Did you finally get yourself a nice paying job?
I've entered into some business recently, and I'll make a point to show my, despite just being in a fight that got really bloody, my still pristinely shined armor underneath my.
She gives like a little playful backhand swat at your knee. Just, well, nah, it's good to hear that. I've been getting downright foolish if you hang around that tavern all the time. I was waiting for you to find something to do. I was downright ready to get you a job here myself.
Well, I appreciate the thought, but I have found myself some coin, and I have offered my friend here some new wares. And this is really reminding me of the John Wick gear up scene from the second movie, I think. When he's asking the tailor, like, yes, bulletproof.
Yeah. Well, blessed be.
Formal or functional?
I'm gonna get you a pair. I'm gonna get you a pair of fresh clothes right away. I can throw in a little bit of extra just in case you want something nicer to wear for later on. It'd be 2 gold for the lot of that, and I'm also gonna throw in a couple more things for your friends here. As you see her shuffle over and begins to start pulling fabrics. Help yourself to some tea. It's sitting over there on the kettle over there.
Happily.
I will indeed help myself to some tea, and I will pay that 2 gold. Does she have any nice looking? I want to get Ocean's 11s with this. Does she have any nice like, just like nice hats, like someone going into business might wear?
She is a
like,
haberdasher first. She does have an assortment of various hat styles. They do range from like the functional Newsies kind of hat all the way to the much more extravagant and flamboyant. She does have, the best I can describe it is the Kentucky Derby women's hat that covers the entire face when it's put on. But an arrangement of styles, so if you are looking for any in specific, she probably does have it.
I'm trying to
sitting on
forget.
the tea in the kettle is a sweet, like a very sweetened tea, very with floral scent to it. There's also 2 different styles of cookies sitting beside them. One seems to be chocolate chip, and the other seems to be a cornbread style cookie.
I'm definitely partaking while I maybe look at the hats, and I'll just look at the party, and like, if you guys see anything you like, go for it.
Orm wants to look at the
think I'm set.
fabrics. The different kind of fabrics that is here. Is there anything that's like lace, almost see-through?
You do see a pattern that does seem to almost be this sort of, there's an image I can actually use now, but I can't. A very much like a lace style pattern that is see-through. Although she does see you eyeing it, and she gives this like, look to you.
Like I said, madam, I used to dress a bit finer.
Now, strictly speaking, I normally use this pattern for certain other kind of fineries.
You can have both.
I like this friend of yours.
Yeah, he's very interesting. Sip of tea. Very interesting.
Orm seems almost like a coin flip opposite of how he was when everyone had initially met him. Just entirely like,
Almost like the edge was taken
oh,
off.
this is nice. This is beautiful. Um,
So Orm, you a clothing guy? What was your life like? Sip.
honestly, I couldn't tell you. I just remember being in a box.
There's a moment where you say that, and she almost misses a cut on one of the powers, just decides that that's not any of her business, and begins trying to recut again.
Part of those finer things, madam.
Yeah.
I ain't judging.
Find the fine things. If you got any of the better stuff, Auntie, for him here.
Oh, I have the perfect arrangement set in mind for him. You know, y'all are lucky you came in. I did have a woman come in earlier that requested some of what he is looking at just now. Nearly drew me out of stock, she did.
Ooh.
I'm glad she left you enough.
You know, them noble types. Once they get their minds set to have a party, everybody starts coming out of the woodwork. She paid well, but I don't know.
I obviously mean no disrespect, Auntie, but what is one of them noble types doing down here in the warehouses?
She said she was looking for somebody that had a better eye for fabrics than any of them, you know, fancy chain stores that be selling things. And she knew that I was a much better purveyor of fine goods than any of them other places.
Well, if anyone is going to smack some sense into a noble about fashion wear, it would be you.
You say that like I am someone who has the gall, the nerve, the gumption to go around making claims or statements to nobles about their choices in fashion wear. And I will have you know I've only done that 3 times. She says, pointing the scissors directly towards you, like,
In all fairness, you don't seem like someone who backs down from most.
I was born and raised in a place where that didn't happen.
I get that.
She finishes the last of the stitching and the cutting, and you see her like splay out the design that she has just to see if it looks good before she thinks for a moment. And you see her rush over, takes a small, what looks like a book out of a shelf, flips it, takes a pressed flower from the book, and then you see her sew it into the upper chest area of the suit, essentially. Holds it up. Now that right there is a good finishing touch. You try that on, big fella.
I do so. And as I do, in our Discord, I bring over a bit of that, like, blackened see-through lace material. And I ask, could you do something like this for me?
Absolutely.
That he'll try on the clothing that she's made.
It's nice. It's very comfortable. It's almost feels like she seemed to just guess your measurements just by that quick walk around. So it's very form-fitting. The flower that she'd pressed in, it's a local flower from the town itself, so it has the same sort of fading red color that is attributed to like the Bloodnet guards and the like.
Yeah.
So it matches with the color scheme, and as she finishes the design of what you sent to me, she holds that out. And this.
Thank you. Thank you. And then one last small request, Auntie. That jacket. It is very sentimental to me. Is there a way for it to be cleaned?
Absolutely.
And maybe
freshened up a little bit. Absolutely, I can do that. Now, the cleaning might take a little bit of time. Would you mind coming back tomorrow morning?
not a problem.
Of course, I'll be right here waiting for you. I'll even have some more tea set for you if you want to have it take a little break.
take
Which
the
he is very good.
It is.
head covering that he had cut and made, and just kind of puts it inside of the shirt itself to where it's pressed underneath.
You see her equally as she does this. She's set out a set of what would be essentially traveling clothes for you. A much more fancy suit attire for Filthy Yarn. One of equal design, but not quite of the same like style for Canian. Like it's still fanciful, but she's like, you are wearing fancy clothes, so I'm gonna give you functional. And she looks over, kind of gives a look up and down to Adrian. Yeah.
I'm okay with what I wear. I will graciously accept your works, and he'll like tug on his sweater. I'm okay with this.
You're gonna end up going to that auction, ain't you?
We are going, please.
You're not wearing a
Make
sweater
it look
to the
better.
auction.
I'm a what's the best way to say this? I'm a very personable person. I like to look welcoming among people. Maybe just this hat, and he'll take that like short top hat I shared and put it
swats
on.
you with a roll of paper. Just you sit down over there. I'm gonna get you a suit.
Yeah, I'll sit back down.
Does she
Yeah,
have a container of just water?
yeah,
That's up
there is a container of just some water. It smells floral, but it's water.
I refill my water skin with it.
You know, have
Congratulations, you found better water than the bar water.
Yeah.
Oh,
Twice.
quest complete.
So
one was in a mortuary.
She set out fancy clothes for me.
Yes.
What kind of style am I looking at? Because
So it's not so much of a suit. It's more the way that I will describe it will probably only make sense to you because you've played the game the same way that I have. You know that attire in 2K24, that's the gold flared out suit with almost like the armor at the center? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like that.
okay,
I hate that I have to describe it that way because I have no basis of like this.
he'll just kind of eye it, but he won't. He'll just take it and won't say anything about it because he's awkward. Like it's clearly not something he does.
I think seeing your hesitation, Kanian is going to lean in and go, it's a good idea. I mean, we're going somewhere where most people are going to dress in some manner like that. If we don't, we stick out.
I think the one thing he looks for is there an actual hood on it, or is it just
There is a hood on it. You will note that when you like turn it to see, the hood design has what looks like a filigreed wolf skull. That's supposed to go over the hood as well to almost cover the entire face.
I think Auntie just made you a witcher.
See if she'll take it out a little bit so you can wear your armor underneath it. Maybe if that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable about wearing something nice.
That's not even a bad idea beyond wearing something nice. We're going to be in a potentially dangerous situation.
Speaking of this, she does come back. She holds two suits out. One could be best categorized as a purple zoot suit. The other is a it's in the similar pattern to the striped sweaters, but it is a full suit with that same design. Just take your pick.
I'm gonna point to the one that best looks like my sweaters.
She puts the zoot suit down and gives it a pat, like maybe next time, and hands it out to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Auntie, but you're gonna have to try and peddle that off to your next 7 customers before you get me with that one.
It's going to go to someone deserving.
Maybe
Don't
put
know.
it in the window.
I don't know why it ever came out of style.
I can only imagine.
I don't want to hear you say anything about style, Mr. Sweaters.
Yeah, and he'll grab the suit, turn around, grab the hat, and just put it on his head.
50 degrees out and you come out here wearing sweaters.
It's comfortable.
It is 50 degrees.
I've been retired. I like my comfort.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
To be fair, I came in without a shirt on.
He
Yeah, but
came
I've
in
had
without a
worse.
shirt.
I've had worse. And that can be a style.
She's right.
Sometimes you just understand people that have artistic integrity.
Let me just pay for this.
As the 2 gold. It's hard to talk to anybody that dresses like they listen to ska music, she says, sitting back down on the...
Oh, the worst part is my instrument are bongos.
Yeah.
I use the drum as my instrument.
Pointedly.
So he
I'm not
probably
knocking it.
has. Yeah, he probably has like a very visible set of like double drums just like hanging off his hip or something, and he looks down at it. And he's just like,
Adrian's
Like, here's the
favorite
gold.
band, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
he's just gonna put the gold on the ground, on the table, countertop, wherever.
On the ground.
Give you the autograph. No.
Pick those up.
On the table. On the table. He's gonna put the hat on. He'll throw the suit over his shoulder, and he's just gonna walk out and like just wait outside.
Love you too, Adrian. You know it's all in good
seeing
fun.
you, Auntie.
Good to see you
Yes,
too.
yes.
You come back and see me early next morning, handsome, she says, giving Orm a little pat on the leg.
Guaranteed, Auntie, guaranteed.
Thanks for the clothes.
Of course, anytime.
He'll just
Thank
kind
you
of
for the sleep.
give a small nod from under his hood and head out the door.
Kanian's gonna follow. Just Kanian didn't really get anything, so it's more just like a thank you.
You got another suit, just one that's more like purposeful.
Oh right, yeah. It's much more like Bloodnet fashion.
Yeah.
And just as a small detail, because I often forget to mention this too, anyone, probably Kanian more likely, given his height and following behind, you'll probably see emotion from under his coat moving back and forth. As I fail to mention often, because it's not a detail that's often seen, he has a tail. A wolf's tail of the same
Yep.
fur pattern as his forearms. That seems to be wagging a little.
Hey, Jude, we've got one last thing.
And that is.
A bag of holding.
Weren't you given one?
I believe you're holding a portion of my payment, right?
It is for the party as a whole.
Unless you want me lugging around a lead box the whole day and not returning that beautiful woman's bag of holding back to her that has all of her items within it.
What's his cut?
I'm gonna do math.
Well, it was 400 gold.
Yeah. So 100 gold, I think.
100 apiece.
Yeah.
All right, I will maybe not begrudgingly reach into the bag and take out Orm's cut of the gold. And as he hands it over, he does like he would say, "All right, here you go," and hand it over. And he says,
No. Puts it back into your hand.
"Okay,
This is trust building.
well, you put trust in me. That's good."
We're supposed to be buying items for the team. And you
Yes.
were trusted with the money.
That is correct. And I just bought you all clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and I spent money on some potions. Filtion and myself and Canian. Is there something else you'd like?
The bag of holding.
My bag of holding.
I think
No.
he's getting at he wants his own.
Ah, yes. How much are bags of holding?
I am looking that up right now.
No, everything that Orm's gotten today, other than the clothes, he's paid for out of his own pocket.
I
a bag of
like
holding.
to imagine.
At the low end, costs 101 gold.
Oh, okay.
It costs 500 at the high end, so the thing is that we're in Bloodnet, which doesn't like the Academy, and Bag of Holding is a little... It's in that realm.
Yeah. Do I know anyone selling
It's
any
fluid.
knockoffs? Anyone selling knockoffs?
Not really a knockoff, but you can get a...
Clutch of holding.
It's not really a pouch of holding. There is a term for it, but essentially it's a smaller variant of the Bag of Holding for like the...
Handy haversack?
the-
yes, the
handy
haversack.
haversack?
Yeah.
Do I know anyone around? I also like to imagine the reason that, by extension myself, the reason that Adrian's so flustered at the questions is because he doesn't want to give up money.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's been clear.
We all caught on to that.
Yeah.
You stingy? No.
It's
Do I
very
know-
funny that like Adrian is trying to like make it through this without spending any money. Meanwhile, Kanian left that clothing store being like 2 gold is a bargain.
Well, here's the thing, right? Adrian wants to spend money. He just wants to spend it on the chance that he might make more money from that money.
Yeah. Adrian wants to gamble.
Yeah.
Adrian wants to hit the slots.
Yeah,
Thing that got
man.
him in trouble to begin with.
Yeah, listen.
Don't you
he knows
owe
he
me
knows his
5
fault.
gold?
Well, there was no fight. There was if they
That's
fought.
what we bet on.
Yeah,
I
but there
bet
was
that
no
there
fight.
wouldn't be a fight.
To answer,
I
there is
said-
a place that you could get a haversack or a bag of holding. Yeah, technically. They may not have any in stock because they just kind of get things.
Okay. So I firstly, say to Katie that listen. I said the big guy would take it. You said Orm would handle himself. There was no clash. Secondly, Orm, they may not have it, but if they do have it, why am I asking you this? You don't mind taking stuff that may or may not belong to you? They might have something, as long as you don't mind taking something that might be from ill repute.
Where did
I
you
say
come
in
to
the
this
nicest
understanding
possible-
of me?
I say it in the nicest possible manner.
Where did
You
you come
did
to this
take-
understanding of me?
You did take clothing off of a bunch of dead people.
That was covered in blood from a ritual that was being done by a series of shadow demons.
That is
I'll have to
fair.
say,
We did
As-
watch it seep into concrete inside of that. Where would you have liked it to seep into me? Infect me? Make me become one of those things.
Well, no, but if
So the safe thing was to remove the sullied clothing and use what was available to ensure that that happenstance didn't
Yes.
take place.
As morbid as this might be, they weren't really using it.
Yes.
I don't exactly agree with it, but I understand the utility.
What does
Sure, the
Granddad need that
families will be
Rolex for? Give me
fine.
that shit.
I'm sure they'll be fine with closed caskets.
I'm almost assuredly hurt that you think so negatively of me, Adrian. I assumed you saw better in people.
Adrian's excuse right now is going to be, I made you big, damn it. I made you big.
You
You
also
say
stayed
that?
behind most of the fight.
No. No, he doesn't. But he looks like he wants to have a comeback just by nature of being a bard. But he also has the look of, I don't want to say anything because we are trying to build trust. So he definitely has the look of, I'm holding something back. But he's not saying it. And he's
Need
just going to
honesty.
continue walking towards.
We need honesty, Adrian.
Listen, if I had to.
This
What's
is not
the
the
best way
first
I can
time,
say this?
Adrian, that you have heard the term "I need honesty" from somebody.
Yeah.
The last time that happened, it did not quite turn out well for you.
No. He is almost tempted to cast Manipulate Ego. But he's not going to. But it's one of those things where it's absolutely in the back of his mind. But he's gonna say, I've learned, if we're being honest with each other, that sometimes I should probably just shut up. And so I'm going to respect that. And you. And let's shake hands and go buy you a haversack.
Shake his hand.
Now, I have no promises when we're around nobility. They have money. I like their money. I may talk their ear off. Let's go buy you a haversack.
The place that you could potentially find is. I have to look up what I named him. And his shop.
And to be fair, even if it's not like a full-sized bag of holding or a full-sized haversack, if it's some kind of extra dimensional pouch that I can fit the chest in, that's all I'm trying to fit inside it.
The place you're looking for is a shop called Maveriks Knick Knack and Things People Left Behind Shack.
That's great. That's
This looks like you
amazing.
could get tetanus here.
It looks, most of the store looks like so all the wood paneling on the front is not aligned properly. Everything is sort of just crooked and placed at an odd angle. The sign itself is made from different other signs that have been nailed together to make the whole giant thing. Maverick is spelled wrong. The windows are also different window styles that have been jammed together to make the window to the front.
So, is there a window that's just like very obviously like stolen church?
There's a
stained
yes.
glass?
The number the window at the very front is a stained glass window depicting Vestias.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I just say yeah. So remember when I said place of ill repute? Welcome. Now they may not have what you're after, but if they do, we can get it.
I don't know if this place has stability.
Yeah, maybe some of us should wait outside in case it does
I'll
crash.
wait outside.
That is a good choice.
Yeah.
and I will very carefully open the door.
It doesn't. You realize he's trying to push it open. It doesn't push open, and you just kind of gently pull, and it pulls open the other way, which is awkward because the door is set into in such a way that it should be a push, but it is a pull. As it opens, you're greeted to the sight of a myriad of just everything. Nothing is like properly placed. It's just like there's stacks of stuff on one side. Stuff is sometimes neatly gathered, and then others is just like I'm putting it here. Nothing has price tags on it, and the desk is sort of set 2 feet off of the ground. As you see a tail like lifting and waving, a little reptilian tail waving back and forth, and as the door opens and a series of like 6 different bells jingle to denote that somebody's entered, you see a small reptilian head peek out. Just, customers. Adrian.
Yes. From the safety of the doorway, do you have any haversacks, bags of holdings, anything of that nature?
Haversacks? Yes. Bags of holding? No.
Right. Again, from the safety of your doorway,
He squints.
can we exchange haversack for gold?
You can exchange anything for gold. Gold mean everything. Why standing all the way back there? Can barely see you. Don't have glasses. Can't find them. Come inside.
He's gonna turn around and look at Orm behind him, and he's just gonna go, if I die, for the love of God, don't leave my body in here.
Orm winks at Adrian. Yes. Oh, is this the fine gentleman you told me had the equipment would be necessary to take to the royals tomorrow? And Orm will walk in with the decorum of someone from several centuries in the past.
Oh, you're walking in, no regard to a building that might fall down on.
I'm already dead.
You know, that's a fair point. That is a fair and reasonable point. I can't fault you on that one.
He this clearly a kobold kind of skitters slightly away from the desk, kind of leans forward. I'm just you're looking for haversack.
I'm looking for a great deal of things. Your name is Maverick, correct?
Yes.
This is your collection. This is your hoard.
All my things, yes. Mighty horde for a mighty dragon. He says, smaller than normal kobolds.
I guess I'll be right behind Orm, but keeping my eye out for any unstable support beams and just skirting my way around them.
To note, there are no support beams in the building, at least ones that you can see, because they've been completely covered by other things from floor to ceiling, just stuff.
Maverick,
Yes.
have you ever thought about potentially, I don't know, renting a bigger space?
Thought about it. Been denied like 3 times.
For the sake of your safety, would you like me to try and find someone who can write you a contract?
No, can do things myself. If you find glasses I need.
I'll just look at Orm and like gesture him to make the deal, and I'll look around for his glasses.
Maverick, my name is Astaru Romero Malacor. I am a representative of an unnamed nation going to speak at the auction tomorrow. I have a need
Yes.
to ensure that some of my prizes can't be seen by those who don't respect them.
He like looks around a little, like conspiratorially, and leans in really close. And you were given my name specifically for this task. Yes, yes.
Yes. It needs to be. The container needs to be small enough that I could wear it. I could keep it close by,
Yes, yes.
but large enough to hold a small treasure chest.
Understand? Yes, yes. Haversack would be good. I had bags of holding, but they were bought out, unfortunately. But haversacks I have. Yes, yes.
You seem capable, Maverick.
I'm extremely capable.
I'd love to share your name with those at the auction so they may come here and bring you wares or bring money to purchase some of your own so you may grow your hoard.
His half-blind eyes like widen a little at the prospect of having more people recognize his name.
Might give you more money for a bigger space. More space, more hoard.
Shelving.
Shelving.
Shelving means more space for more hoard. More hoard means bigger space. Bigger space means more hoard. Yes, yes.
You seem to know Adrian, and your relationships are your relationships, but mind you, I speak of something greater than that. Give me the bag, and I give all of those rich, rich people your name.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
I'd like to imagine while that's happening, Adrian's just been walking around like digging in various piles. Like, Maverick, where the hell do you keep your glasses?
You do happen, I'm not going to have you roll, but just because it's fun, you do happen to stumble across the glasses. They don't have lenses in them.
Of course they don't.
18 plus 7 for 25.
Whoa.
You tell big rich friends that Maverick gave you this. Yes, yes. Big rich friends come give me Maverick more gold, more things.
Keepers of kingdoms come to Maverick and bring gold and things.
Keepers of kingdoms come to Maverick. Bow before Maverick's great hoard. Request beg Maverick. Yes, yes. One moment. Adrian, you find glasses?
Yes.
Give.
I'll walk over and hand them down to him. But you're missing some lenses.
He puts them on. Perfect.
Okay.
And begins to walk. You see him dig through a small pile of other bags of various types. One that he throws as it hits the ground kind of like shuffles as you see a tongue come out and drag itself away. He like disappears into the pile, and then you see his hand come out. Found it! Haversack! Throws it towards you. Are things maybe inside? If things inside, consider gift from Great Maverick.
No, if things are inside, they belong to the Great Maverick. And I'll start undoing all the little clasps and shaking the bag and turning the pockets inside out.
Several things fall out. You see an assortment of like what seems to be just leftover trail mix. Oh my god, what are they called? Not barbells.
Dumbbells?
Yeah,
Dumbbells?
like just like dumbbells. A tiny bell falls out. A little orb. A squeaky toy. Like part of a bone clunks out and just rolls all on the ground. Those will suffice. Yes, yes. Anyways, Haversack, yours, new friend.
Your name will be spoken amongst those ready to come to you.
Maverick's name will mean legend. Maverick finally get out from under the boots of those other ones. Yes, yes.
We will speak soon, Maverick.
Yes, yes. Speak soon. Looks over
And
to
then
Filtiarn, I'm assuming has also come into the shop. No?
He's staying outside.
Looks over
Filtiarn and
to
Kanian are staying outside.
Adrian. You, anything want? Yes.
Not that I can think of Maverick, but good luck on your business endeavors.
Found thing may like 1 moment. He reaches in and he pulls a wooden toy boat. Just found. You want?
Okay. Where'd you find it?
Is that important?
No, I guess not. How's the make of it?
Give
Does it
me-
look like craftily carved?
Yeah, you would know. It was one of your sons, like a while ago. It's
just
not
gonna-
even like subtle. You see their name like on the side of the boat.
It's got Andy on the bottom.
Yeah, it's in that way.
Maverick?
Yes.
Can I see it for a second? I would like to examine craftsmanship, if you don't mind.
If you do not buy, you have to give back. Holds it out.
Yes, yes, yes. You look at it,
Just breaks into a run.
examine it, look at the whichever of my kids like carve their name into it, or if I carve their name into it. Keel turn. All right, goodbye, Maverick.
Hey! No. You pay. You pay.
I will
You pay.
not pay for this.
You pay.
I will give you a silver for the information of where you found it, but I'm not paying for this.
Information does not cost silver, cost gold. You know this.
And I'll turn the boat to the name, and to show the name, and I will say, "This is my child's. You'll take a silver."
I would not know that. I don't know anything of that nature.
2 silver.
Done.
And I'll walk over, semi in a mad tone, like he's doing the like the dad stomp of anger. And
Silver
he'll give him the 2 silver, and now I want to know where you got it. And it needs to be accurate.
Given to me by big old Goliath, help with moving companies. You know, that sort of thing. Thought they may have, maybe, potentially... Look, he didn't give me all the information, but probably when your family moved out, I got given a bunch of stuff.
Do you have it? If Orm's looking, he's gone from anger to like almost sadness. It's like, do you have any of the boxes?
I don't keep the boxes. Boxes don't sell that well, but I may have other stuff. Maybe. Don't know. It's been a while.
If you find the rest of the stuff, just send it to the tavern and I'll pay you.
You'll pay me?
I will give you gold for your hoard.
Good.
You can send the rest of my things to my tavern.
Good. Question.
I don't know if I want to answer it, Maverick.
Now, you know, merchant, buyer confidentiality.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're square. Me giving this to you is not gonna cause issues, cause, like, I know you don't know the other side of that, you know.
Uh-huh.
That
Of
sounds
course.
complicated. That's all complicated mess. Relationships are a mess.
Yep.
Why never got married?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you would have the pickings
Oh,
if you wanted.
massive clutch.
Mm-hmm.
He pats your leg, like, in a way of, like, that's rough, buddy. But also in such a, like a pawn guy that knows, like, I'm selling my house to you, like, I'll see what I can find.
Yeah, he's got the, I feel bad for you, but he's still all greasy and
Yeah.
doesn't like slimy of a pawn. Yeah,
I feel
pawn shop
bad
guy.
for you, but you're gonna pay me, so why do I
Yeah.
give a shit?
So I'm just gonna like just reiterate. I'll give you gold. Find the rest of my stuff.
Yes, yes.
And then when I turn to leave, I just look at Orm and I'm like, not a word.
Thank you for doing business. Don't come back unless you're buying things. Bye.
And despite telling Orm not a word, Adrian fully walks out like just with a dejected look on his face. Like he went into
Like,
the
not even
shop.
trying to hide it.
Yeah, he went into this shop like not caring, maybe a little bit of like, all right, this might be interesting, and then he just walks out like, oh.
You look like you died in there.
How
Yeah.
loud was that conversation in there?
Not like you picked up bits and pieces. Well, you specifically. Actually, both of you have really good hearing because of what you are. So yeah, you both heard that.
Okay.
This is the sad thing with Dad over here is that pretty much everyone in this party has some level of extra sense.
I'm gonna have to start whispering my information to
That
you.
matters.
Philtiarn's ears so big he can hear your
Exchanging
DeviantArt
classes.
search history. Like it's not.
Motherfucker.
You know what? I'm gonna have to start. I need to get. I need to get message. I need to get message so I can start having psychic conversations.
There's a fucking reason why I was on the night shift on WaveSec, motherfucker.
Yeah. I can hear your thoughts. None of them are pure.
No, motherfucker, I can hear you over there.
I just imagine Kaney and Filthy Yarn just exchanging glances the whole time. Just being able to hear that conversation.
Like you guys are outside the door of a divorcing couple listening in.
Yeah.
Like,
I do definitely think at some point Kaney is like, I feel bad for him.
Filter's just
In a
straight
way where I
face
think
the
I can,
entire time.
not in a way where I think I can fix things for him, but more in a, I should put some gold in his cap.
With the group being outside, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, get some refreshments, get water, get yourself oriented, and we will be back shortly. We will see you all in a moment.
Incredible.
you were. And we're back. I couldn't find the other thing. So, everyone outside of Maveriks, what did I... Maveriks, oh my god, I can't... I'm not going to say the entire thing again. Outside of Maveriks' shop, you have all your stuff now.
And Adrian just walks out and is like, "Let's just go back to the tavern. We've had a long day."
I thought we wanted to figure things out.
We can figure things out at the tavern. Or tomorrow.
Well, if you want to head back, and if you just give me a rough direction of that lake.
Are you, should we really be traveling alone after what we just did?
I'll go with him.
Canyon, tavern, or lake?
God. I'll go back to the tavern with you.
All right.
You're going back to the tavern. Orm will take Law's bag of holding, set it down, undo one of the pouches off of the haversack, take the chest from there, put it into the pouch, clip the pouch onto himself, close the bag of holding, and oh no, where'd he go?
Horrible timing.
We lost him.
Oh, boy.
Oh, coming back.
There we go.
I'm alive.
I'll give Cadian Law's bag of holding to give back to her, and then take the full haversack itself, and then hand it to Adrian.
Oh. Okay, I thought this was for you.
No, I just needed this. And he points at the pouch that he removed from the bag and then clipped on. Now you got,
All right.
you can store whatever you feel is necessary for the mission. Anything that you don't want to keep in your bag of holding, in case that gets stolen, you can put it inside there and keep that at the tavern or whatever. Because Curse Box got to go in that.
Yeah. All right.
One moment.
Not
Let me
a bad
fix
idea.
a camera thing real quick. Because for some reason...
It's all broken.
So broken.
Maverick broke it.
Tech issues.
I'm so sorry. Naturally, 2 tonight, my internet decides to act up.
Yep. We love it until it stops working.
Yeah.
Live scene. Fixed it. There we go. All right, continue.
Because the puzzle box has to go in your bag of holding.
I actually have that on me.
Yeah. Well, for when we transport it, you got to go to your bag of holding. Unless you want your things touching something that stores cursed and ancient artifacts of the like. Now you've got a whole haversack.
Yes, that is definitely more comfortable than potentially being cursed.
Oh, that reminds me. Who has those scrolls?
I do.
Perfect. That'll simplify things.
And we can go to the lake. They can go to the tavern. Let Law know that we did do some group bonding exercises and things were purchased and in good standing.
If anything happens to the two of you outside the walls, I'm not entirely sure how that will be able to get back to us.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Oh, all right. I trust the two of you enough. You know how to handle yourselves. And we will get the tavern ready for whenever you come.
Appreciate it.
I will begin walking off towards the tavern.
I will follow.
And now will be the time that, and I like to imagine this is how it's done. I'm going to start, as he's walking away, Adrian starts whistling. And not that he doesn't trust Filtiarn and Orm not to die, but he's going to start whistling, and his whistle is going to heal Filtiarn for 5 hit points. And it might be noticeable as a spell, but he's definitely trying not to make it noticeable as he just casually whistles the healing word in his direction.
There's a component of it that does make you feel better.
Yeah. He'll just shrug it off and not pay too much attention to it. More of a, I guess, an attempt to not always alienate everyone else all the time.
And it is very much a pockets in the sweater, just whistling his way down the road as he whistles the healing word in your direction.
And as we're also heading back, I'm gonna spend as an action while we're heading out to spend 2 of my own hit die to heal back the rest of my health, as I'm able to do with my
Yep.
abilities.
With what you be.
Yep.
We're going to do a little separation here.
Always split the party.
Yeah, because we split the party. Adrian and Kania. Makes this real easy.
Yeah.
As you are heading back to the tavern, you see, sitting by a fountain, a misshapen, hulking figure wearing a large cloak, also sitting by the fountain, most of their body obscured. And then sitting beside them, kicking their feet, a young woman with speckled red hair, orangish hair, kind of just kicking her feet. And as she sees you all, as she sees you all walking by, there's a moment's pause. You see her kind of like her nose twitch a little bit. You two are at the market.
I turn, stop my whistling, look. Any recognition of who they are?
You do recognize the girl as the one that bumped into you at the market.
Oh. I just know I got bumped into. Not
Yes.
that my pockets are lighter.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we were at the market earlier in the day.
With Orm. but he's not with you right now.
You
Correct.
relation?
We're friends.
In a very silent tone that hopefully only Kanian hears, it's definitely a. I didn't think he was.
Though, if you were to have any, I feel like they would be the kind of people to just sum it up as friends.
The misshapen kind of figure moves one hand out, and you see a large four-fingered hand sort of set down onto the girl's shoulder. Just sort of tap a little bit, and she just smiles and pats his hand.
Right. I guess
Yes.
we're both at a loss for words.
You have business with this mutual friend?
Sort of, kind of, but he's already kind of doing a job, so I don't want to bother him. But would you happen to know of any places to stay? We are new to the city.
If you don't mind the water.
We're not heavy on the water drinking type. My big friend over here isn't much of a, feaster, as she pats the hand again.
Is there any like what's the way to describe it? Like if we do I get the sense of them that if we actually point them to where we're staying, that's a bad thing? Like is there like like in their voice any sign of
Give me an insight.
okay.
I'm gonna also do that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Rummage is a good boy, guys. Leave Rummage alone.
I like it's just Rummage that you're like, Rummage is fine.
I spent more time with him.
That is a 21 for Adrian.
And I got 18.
There is a note of, it's not so much like evil or a problem, but there is this strange unsettlingness to how she talks.
Okay.
Every word is measured in a way that she is trying to lead to a direction, but she's never going to outright say things.
What are you trying to sell us on?
We just want to be safe for the night.
You want to be safe or you want to be near Orn?
Yes.
Frankly, in the very short amount of time I met him, I don't think those two link well.
You'd be surprised how much safer things are when you're with friends. I'm sure you might know something about that, don't you? Her head tilts a little.
I'm just gonna like hold up a finger and like grab Kanian by the shoulder and just be like, sidebar.
Huddle.
She nods.
I'm just gonna like whisper like, perhaps we can send them to a nearby tavern, close enough to keep eyes on, but far enough to not be in direct conflict with us.
I think that is the best option, really. I don't know how likely it is that we're going to tell them a direction and then they won't just follow us.
Yes. Can I look around? Or can I like look around? Like if we're near a fountain, like I imagine, is it like a center square? Can I look at the different roads?
There's some people walking around.
Okay, I'm going to just say, if anything, and I'll look at one road. You go that way. I'll look at another road. I'll go this way. If they follow us, if they start following us, we'll split, reconvene. Hopefully they will be following us.
Right.
Okay. Sounds like we have a plan.
I'm gonna roll a die.
Oh no. Do I know of any other taverns that are close enough to the Skinning Cat, but like close enough to be able to keep tabs, but far enough that they're not in direct
There's
line of
Joel's.
Joel's?
Joel's.
Alright, good old Joel.
It's a tavern owned by Joel. He calls it Joel's.
Good old Joel. If that's the furthest away but still close enough, I'll tell them about Joel's. And I'll sing its praises. You know, I'll recommend it to them.
She nods. Kind of like this. "Mhm. That can work for us, don't you think?" And the form just kind of nods.
Very
It doesn't
welcoming
speak.
all.
Its whole body kind of moves up and down in a nod.
I think you'll like Joel's.
It'll be nice to finally get off the road for some time.
Hey. Is there anything else we might be able to help you with?
She seems to think about it. Where's the best place to get food?
Oh, I know just the guy. And you best believe who I'm about to recommend.
Fosh?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
You are,
5-star rating.
you are, so far, in any of my games, the only person to recommend Fosh.
I love him. I want more.
You need to go 8 miles that way, and there's this eel guy named Fosh.
She nods in this almost like enraptured. Gives a little small smile.
And you know, I'm a bard, so I'm playing it up. I'm giving it a tale of, oh, this is the best thing ever. Yada 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 yada.
She gives this again this almost endearingly small smile. Thanks. A lot of people have been able to, help us out. So it's nice to have that.
Yes, of course. Glad to be of help. If you don't mind us, we have some business to attend.
Absolutely. Me and my friend here are just gonna stick around the fountain for a little bit. Rest our legs.
Wonderful. And I will arm around Kanyan's shoulder, like ushering us out.
They remain in place. The girl seems to be talking to the larger figure. She doesn't ever move the cloak to do this, but you do see her like lift and like whispering to him and laughing a little bit as she does. But they do not move from their spot.
Okay.
So, was she talking about me or you when she said we might know a thing or two of friends? I'm gonna take that.
Kanyan doesn't answer.
Yeah. That is a. I'm gonna take that as a you.
And we dissolve fade over to the other two. The forest is quiet. It's not silent. There are the sounds of birds and other creatures, but it's quiet.
I would like to ask real quick if along the way I would pick up on the scent of a tea shop or two.
Yes.
Okay. Assuming I've been around them for long enough, I assume I would know the type of tea, if they drink it,
Black
they would
tea.
like.
Black tea, no sugars.
Would pick up a bit of that. I'll spend however much gold that's going to take to get like a portable tea set.
It's like a silver, so you get 5 gold back.
Okay. So I'll spend a gold and all
Yeah,
that,
gold
and then
from
head
silver, I
off
think.
to head to the forest with Orem. Along the way, look, and the light isn't my thing, but there might be a moment where I have to ask you to step away.
How far
Everyone's
away?
got secrets, right?
How far is away? Out
Oh,
of your earshot, out of my earshot, out of
enough that we're obscured, I'm going to assume.
that
Just
you
in
and
case.
whoever you're talking to is obscured.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, we all have secrets.
Plenty do.
Appreciated. After all, I'm not going to dig too deep into the whole lying to that shop owner thing.
Oh, it wasn't a lie. I'm going to tell at least somebody, but I'm never going back there.
I honestly don't know how that thing's still standing.
Yeah, pressure, I'm guessing. Just a lot of pressure.
I'm sure. And just keep moving forward and trying to use my senses to see if I can't pick up on her.
Give me a perception check.
Will do.
I have no idea who we're looking for or what we're looking for, so I'm just like, I'm along for the walk in case we get
30-20.
to punch something.
You get the faint scent of wood and trees that aren't from this forest, and that's the first thing that tells you, like, okay, she's here. There's the slight scent of burning incense, and as you come through the trail and catch sight of this pristine lake, you see a white-haired woman seated at the bank of this lake, cross-legged, the wrapped sword just next to her. And you see her head kind of twist a little bit as if she's heard you all coming in, but she does not turn to face you all.
Glancing around, having come up on. I'm assuming there's no one else around us.
Correct. It is just her and you two.
Since he's already aware of it, he actually will drop his hood, considering I'm sure at some point she insisted he'd stop putting it up while they're just the two of them. Because she knows by now, he'll stubbornly wear that damn thing with everybody else around. He doesn't care. Before walking over and speaking, knowing that she picked up, there's been a interesting development. I think you should know about.
Who is with you?
Remember that job you wanted me to do?
Yes.
It came with more people.
And is this one
This
of
is
them?
Orem.
Orem. Her head turns to face you, Orem. Kind of moments of looking up and down. Interesting.
How so?
Your smell, your gait, your... Her head, a little slight tilt. This is new to you, isn't it?
The perfume, yes, it was sprayed on me during this
The
whole
era.
scenario we were in.
The era.
People fighting, people dying. That's a constant. It's easy to get used to.
She nods as if, like, fair enough answer. What have you found?
Well, we had to deal with some Uriadra. Tentacles just of Samaru.
Her head turns back to Orem and looks to the pauldron.
Aldrin's on the jacket. That's
Oh,
getting
right. You didn't
serviced.
have the jacket's getting serviced.
He's not wearing that right now.
Smart. All right. Cultist.
They were a Kitsadria.
They're dead.
Yeah.
Oh, assuredly.
Concerning. What else did you find?
A pool of blood that resonated with the realm of shadows.
You see her hand instinctively go to her sword. You don't see her give moments of emotion, but there is a flash of searing anger. There were bodies.
Oh. There were bodies. I didn't take the time to count them, but enough to fill a pool of blood.
What else did you see? Both of you.
I attacked a mystic, shaman, disciple.
They seemed good with their fists.
Blackwood Acolyte. Not necessarily a worshipper of, well, yes, a worshipper of them, but an acolyte.
Follower.
Yeah.
There were more of those. What did you call them? Your
Uriadria.
There was a plethora when we first arrived. Most dissipated, only a handful stayed behind to fight alongside their disciple.
Means there wasn't.
They were all vanquished.
Wasn't enough to finish the ritual, so that's at least a good thing.
No, but, and this is just assuming, two of the other ones with us had a interaction from the other side.
Her gaze
And they
fully locks onto you.
Pointed them towards me.
An interaction.
They heard something, statements, message, something of that nature, that then said that our wonderful friend here would be the reason we all die. Or at least our collective group would die.
What something? What or who talked to them?
They weren't exactly specific. But all of it reeks of the realm of shadows.
Her shoulders roll back, her grip white knuckling on the blade. And they've targeted you.
They seem to blame me for whatever they want. So either they have intentions for me.
I'll give you a moment as it seems you want to step around words and you're worried I might. Orm's going to step back into the tree line and spider climb, walk up the front of the tree until he can get high enough to where he has a vantage point, but he's not close enough to hear anything.
As soon as you are out of sight,
He's-
she stands up.
He's also more than he seems.
I can already tell
Which-
that part.
Yeah. Which leads me to ask, somebody was very intentionally avoidant on certain questions I had growing up. What am I?
Her arms cross for a moment. In what sense? Your lineage?
I guess
Ahanya.
my mom was an elf. That doesn't explain me.
You're Ahanya. It's a... What's the best way to describe it? Half-breed? A half yokai.
Wonderful.
It means far less than you would imagine. A lot of known a couple Hanyo, or at least have interacted with them, that have dire circumstances attached to them. The difference between, though, is your other side of that lineage.
Is
The yokai side. What yokai in specific?
and that is
If it's associated to anything with that place, more than likely it means that it is a yokai that is associated to Nogitsune. Or at least one that is subservient enough, or has been pulled into the sway of.
one of the ones who consume.
Correct. You said 2 others were contacted. Where are they?
They headed back to our tavern. One had a bit of an emotional blow dealt to them. And the other one stuck with them, so we're not alone.
Unfortunate, but not helpful. I'm going to have to talk to them, aren't I?
It would probably help. However, I need to know the thing that you're looking for at the auction is what might have been pointed to. And he'll specifically look up at the tree and call out, I need those scrolls.
My acrobatics look like. We'll go athletics. I'll use the thicker branch as like a diving board and just springboard from there towards them.
Go ahead and just give me a roll. Yeah.
23.
Yep. You land solidly.
Which one?
The fox one.
Yeah. We'll pull the 2 scrolls out and then no, that's the crystal thing. There you go.
He'll grab the scroll, turn it, and unfurl it in front of her.
Zoom. She stares. You see her jaw clench. She takes in a slow breath. All right. That's not good. Why do they want that?
I don't know. They
They
want
can-
us to keep.
They cannot have it.
We're keeping other people from getting it.
Well, they gave us the distinct instructions to keep it away from the Lord of Frostcane the Lord of the Critican Highlands, and anyone dressed in Cahulian clothing.
Makes sense. However, no one can have that.
Why not?
That is a phylactery.
Oh, interesting.
That is a phylactery of my sister.
Lead box makes sense now.
She says this, and you see her guise partially shift as you see a pair of white fox ears unfurl, a long white fox tail, and the markings of a Cassandria form on her face.
Piltiarn doesn't look surprised.
That is a phylactery of Nogistane, the first to fall of my siblings, and the most dangerous to do so.
And why shouldn't it end up in other people's hands?
One, that should be at the bottom of a lake. Two, it's because it contains the power of Nogistane and will allow for her to pull herself from her imprisonment in the Land of Shadows to this world. If it's in the wrong hands, and if enough people hear her words for the wrong reasons.
I don't mean to sound entirely ignorant or unaware. But as you know, this is not my era.
Correct.
And some of these names are not registering with the weight that I know they probably should.
What do you know of Lushu?
Give me a religion or a history check.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to fail it.
Okay. Not much. You do know,
If-
you recognize the name Lushu as it's one of the gods, one of the 8 remain that are worshipped. But
Even from
yes,
that far back?
yeah. Granted, she's a Cahulian god, so on Retia, not that heavily worshipped, but she's one of the few that's like, okay, is fine to worship. We have Cassandria here. Lushu is regarded as like the goddess of Cassandria
And trickery.
to a degree.
One of the few okay gods of this area. And I just all I'm aware of is that it's like a Cahulian base originating. But for the most part, I understand that there are weight to these names. I understand that there may be tales, there may be legends, there may be current events that are attached to the well-being of lives, nations, peoples.
This conversation would be better if I also could converse with the people that spoke to my sister.
But we can go back to the tavern.
Filtiarn, question.
Yeah.
Why did they not come with you?
As I said, one of them had a bit of a emotional
And that stopped you for the
Dang.
first time.
One was a human
involve
who's
their
still getting
family.
over a divorce, and the other's a newly acquired member of the team less than a few hours.
I'm not
Okay.
angry at his actions. I'm surprised.
Oh no, just the reason why they didn't join us.
No, that it makes sense. I'm just surprised at Filtiarn.
I guess there's a part of me that understood how much it sucks to lose family.
I'm surprised to see my student grow in such an emotional way.
Well, he wasn't exactly forthcoming with everyone else why we were coming out here, who we were meeting, and what the occasion was.
That's fine. I prefer him not to be that forthcoming.
Wasn't my secret.
Not my era.
But this has become your problem now.
It's very
I'm all our
much-
problem.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Says who?
She gives
You were there.
a little
You fought
sniff.
them. You stopped them.
I fed for the first time in a very long time, which
You
made
also
me
fought somebody
primal.
trying to free her.
I was unaware of what any of that was.
I
In a
don't think
primal
that matters.
rage, I attacked who could be assumed to be an enemy between me and my next meal.
You're trying to explain words around someone who probably couldn't give a shit less when you get involved in stopping their plans.
I didn't know their plans.
Not to
I
mention,
smelled blood.
not to mention the other aspect of this that's going to intrigue her is your position in the wheel, so to speak.
I'm in no position.
You're right. That's what will fascinate her. My
I'm
sister,
fascinated with.
my sister has a phylactery. She's a lich, in fact, possibly one of the most powerful to ever exist. The concept of undeath, she narrows her eyes, especially one from a different era, is going to be fascinating. Knowing that one unknowingly stopped a ritual, despite any of that, means little to her. She'll see you as an experiment, like anything else.
A great deal of people see me as an experiment. That doesn't change that whether I am a part of something or not.
True,
I'm working alongside your student
true,
on a mission that you sent them on.
true.
Am I wrong?
You are correct. She adjusts herself. It means that being
And so?
technical, you are only a part of this tangentially. But enough so that it will gain her attention, which will be worrisome for you.
I
Like
asked
I
this
said,
question.
You're involved.
I asked this question for two reasons. And again, I understand this is your master, your teacher, your instructor, someone whose respect and admiration is informative to your growth.
Maybe walk and
To
talk.
not use so many words. Yeah, walk and talk. Uh, one part to it being there are people who would be seeking this item out. As we're fully aware of through this conversation, or at least I'm made more fully aware through this conversation. And we're worried about the wrong people getting it, or any people in general. I want that clarification.
It should be at the bottom of the lake, yes.
Okay. Second part. What if I was one of those people sent to gather this item and return it to someone else?
I would kill you where you stand. Next question.
That's part of the question.
Is that what you were sent to do?
I believe in the words you're saying. I have no reason not to. But I am fully aware of how people like me operate. As people like me locked me in a box. And that's all I remember. For however long I've been locked away. I want some kind of substance to this relationship that if I am to help you, and looking directly at the teacher, if I'm to help you with this case and turn on the people who pried me from that box, who brought me here and asked me to do the exact thing you don't want to happen, what safety do I have? What protection do I have? What assurances do I have?
She's continuing to walk, but you see her hand, which was resting on the hilt of her sword, has moved to the side of the hilt now. Which the sword's still fully wrapped in these blue ribbon-like bandages. What assurance do you want?
What could you do to someone who had the capability to raise a still living, in a capacity of the word, vampire who had been sealed away for, again, gods know how long? and offer him this job.
What could I do to them? Are you asking for a question about my capabilities, or are you trying to pick apart what I might be able to help you with?
Both. Substance.
She pauses in her steps for a moment.
I stop.
She kind of shifts the position on the blade. You see her hand sweep out. The blade's still wrapped, and she swipes it forward and then tucks it back into the sash that she has. And you see a couple of the trees just start to slowly topple. To answer the question of my skill, you are talking to the originator of a style you refer to as sword saints. Firstly. Secondly, what I'm willing to offer, outside of you remaining in your undead state, without my blade at your neck, if there is something else that you seek that I'd be willing or able to help you with, if we are to get rid of this phylactery and place it back to where it's supposed to be, I will do everything within my power to do so. Within reason.
I just want to know, other than my safety for aligning myself with you and not those who wish to free your sister, I would like to know when the last time the lead coffin was used on a vampire and who did it.
That is information I can find out for you.
Because I want their heads.
That's information I can gather.
I want my hands to do it.
Simple. I can do that. But understand something. And she begins to walk again. Your state of being does not prevent you from feeling excruciating agony.
I'm aware.
Good.
I was tattooed.
Don't tempt me to find out how much more I can inflict upon you.
I was marked while I was still awake. I know that I can still feel pain.
Filtiarn, where are your others situated?
At the Skin Cat Tavern at the place. Yeah.
This means people.
I got
Not very many.
Good.
Oh. I did buy tea.
I would prefer to drink that when we're there.
Don't use their water.
Figured.
Noted.
I'd get water from here before we...
She gestures. I have a water skin.
But yes, Filtiard, I was planning on betraying this group and turning over that phylactery to my benefactor.
What's your thought process now?
Mine or his?
His.
I have a reason to trust him. And the others.
Good.
We fought together. I trust people I can fight with.
There might be hope for you yet.
Nah. That went out the window a long time ago.
And cutting back to... Oh, go ahead.
You don't have to be the monster other people make you.
Remember that, friend. And that's when I will flash my fangs for the first time.
And then you just kind of see Filtiarn, give his own fangs, elongated canines, a flash of almost a slight sneer.
Yeah.
We will cut back over to the group at the tavern. As time goes by a little bit, the orc has returned, and he is currently cleaning the one mug that he was cleaning when you first came down the stairs.
Yeah, and if we open the door to see that, it's an immediate like pointing to him, like fill it, fill it, fill it up.
With what? With which thing exactly? Like, what do you want beer?
Ah,
Do you want ale? Do you want
A little
mead?
bit of all of it.
Oh,
yeah.
it's a bad day. All right, one second. And he goes to a specific barrel.
Sorry, I ordered your drink for you.
He goes to a very specific barrel and pulls it as a liquid that's just like, oh, I've mixed every color. This is now brown. Pours out, and he sets it in front of you.
Just sit down and I'll drink it.
It's yeah, what happens when you mix every alcohol that's just beer, ale, mead, whatever.
This is good. This is good. Thank you.
Of course, my favorite specialty. Do you want one? Points over to Katie.
No, I don't drink.
Right, I believe that. All right then. I delivered your letter, like I was paid to do.
Good. Good to know. Thank you.
So how was your day? How was it? I mean, it's clearly bad. You're drinking the suicide, so it's clearly bad.
He's just gonna reach into his bag and pull out the boat and put it on the counter.
Oh, it's real bad. Oh, that's oh boy.
And just point out the carving of the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where'd you find that? Like,
Oh, Maveriks.
oh, that's real unfortunate. I kind of expected it maybe to be over there at some point or another, but that's unfortunate. Yeah.
Just keep it coming.
Yeah, I got you. He
Notice
fills it up again.
Yeah.
So, if it makes you feel better, I was doing my rounds, getting the letter over there, right? And as I was doing it, I came across. You're not going to believe this, but there was a winged Hadislim. Yeah, she had like wings and everything. It was crazy, right? So I tried to get her name, and she wouldn't give me it because I don't know. Maybe it's me looks. I may not be the most attractive kind of person to be getting a name, but she was
Who
here.
would say no to you?
You would think, right? But I guess it didn't work out. But she might be here for the whole like auction thing, and if she is, and your whole thing might be at that auction, if you might get to know her, and right, like you're a pretty looking guy, right? You're smaller in stature than me, and with a good daddish figure to you. I've heard that's all the rage lately. So potentially you get back on the scene.
He just like wraps a finger around the ring that's around his neck to like make a point of it, and he's like, "Are you really trying to hook me up?"
Listen. I'm trying to look out for you because you my best mate. But I mean, you want me to be really honest with you, and it's just real fucking sad to see, like every day. You want to put yourself back out there, mate. I mean, it's gonna be something.
I wish I took spells to use on him. I don't have anything that is good to use that won't harm this man. It's just like like the day he's had, it's probably like a dejected, like, all right, thank you for thinking about me, and I'll keep my eye out.
Good.
But, geez, man.
I'm just trying. I'm very blunt, and I apologize for that. But
Yeah, is that an orc trait? Is that known?
no, it's just kind of me.
Oh, it's just you?
It's
Okay.
just me. I might get it from me dad, but I never met me dad, so assumedly,
All right. Well, if you ever, no, never mind. Thank you, Gronk.
I feel like you were gonna say something that might have been
No.
construed as an insult, and I might deserve it.
I would never. And yes, you do deserve it.
Yeah. Do you want me to get you another one?
Yes.
All right. He picks up the mug. As he heads back over, the door once more opens as we get the group back together. As Filtiarn opens the door.
His hood's back up again.
To save time, before we walked in, we stopped, grabbed the lead, and grabbed
Yes.
Filtion's armor.
Yes.
Yep. Speaking of
Before coming
which, I had DM'd you a question just in case I didn't interrupt anything, but I might as well just ask because I forgot to ask before. What do I feel in the pocket from
It is
the run in earlier?
It is a small carved, what looks like a small carved wolf that seems to be carved out of a tooth.
Okay. Keep
Uh,
that in mind.
When they walk in, Adrian just holds up his mug and goes, "Hey guys, drinks."
Already. Was that bad?
Long day.
Oh, this is gonna go well.
The white-haired woman kind of steps around the side of Orm. I'm going to presume these are the ones.
Yeah, the drunk one with his finger already dipped inside the mug instead of just like holding it. And then Kanan. This lovely friend of ours would like to have a conversation with you.
This is going to be a very long day, isn't it?
It already has been.
That's why I'm drinking.
This is my teacher. Be nice.
Filtiarn, Orm, if you go ahead and have a seat.
Decorum.
You say be nice. I think he's talking to you, Katie.
I have decorum.
Kanan's clone is hitting the gritty in the corner again.
It never left the tavern. He's just left one behind this entire time.
She
It's been the entertainment of the tavern.
she sets you see her set the wrapped blade onto the table first, like onto the bar itself. It thunks a lot heavier than it looks like she holds it. Like, it has the same quality of I keep doing references to other things, but in God of War, when Kratos sets the axe out in front of Thor, it's that same like thunk. And she takes a seat at one of the chairs, and as she does, she takes the bag of tea, sets that out, and begins to arrange from a small bag that she has a set of her own, like, specialty teaware. My student tells me you had an encounter.
I'm our group one, and Kanian is like looking to the
Yeah.
others to make sure.
The whole
A blood pool.
Yes.
fun stuff.
Should
Shadow
I be here
creatures
for
like?
go that way? And it goes, right, and starts to kind of slowly walks, and you hear the cellar door open and close.
Oh, speaking of, Orm will go over to the door and take like whatever, like a hat rack or whatever is right next to it, and just lodge it through the door to keep it from being opened.
She takes there's not really a water skin, but it looks just like a ceramic cylinder, and she sets it down. She twists the top, and you begin to see steam start to rise from the top of it. You
Okay,
two specifically had an interaction.
Kanian, I think, is like, it's very clear that like Kanian is doing the motions in their head of like, what can and should I say right now? And then
Just say
goes,
everything.
or we met some of your friends.
Oh, Rummage and L. Those are like really my only two friends, other than you.
May have lost again. Yep, it's all good.
It was
Adrian.
doing so well.
Yeah. At hearing what Orm
Oh, back.
just said, there's definitely maybe
Doing
like
so
a
well.
like a half drunken like you almost said us.
No, specifically Kanan.
Oh, I heard it, and you can't deny it.
Well, they know where we sleep.
I'd
You're
prefer it
beating
if they
around
didn't.
a point. You two, she now very pointedly staring, had a conversation with someone that's very important to me. I want to hear what that conversation was exactly.
How strong is this drink? How quickly does it hit me?
It is every pour based alcohol in one mug. You tell me, fam.
Can I do a con save?
Give me a con save.
You absolutely would need a con save for a suicide.
Yeah. This
Unfortunately,
this is
that's
the
pretty good.
this is the hey, what do you want to drink? Just fuck me up, fam.
Except it was basically
Unfortunately-
Kanian going, fuck them up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a 22.
Now, that may have been the roll. You can play this however you want. But that was the roll.
I feel like maybe he's had it before, so it's not like, hitting him immediately, but he's probably at a point where you could have simple conversation with him. I don't know if he's going to be able to retell a waking
Doomsday
nightmare.
message.
Yeah, a doomsday message. Like, you can have simple conversation with him. Like he's sober enough to talk with, but he's not sober enough to talk about a doomsday message.
I can get the alcohol out of your blood if you want.
Shakes his head.
Such an
Do you need a
odd
dunk?
thing.
Shakes his head. No. I'm good. Continue.
They need you to continue.
Yeah. We're waiting
I,
on you.
as a player, don't remember the exact.
I will assume ever that it's your character would remember. You could say that you say X amount.
Yeah. For the sake of my sanity, I'm gonna just have Kanian relay it.
Yeah.
No, yeah. They said that they could see into our dreams, or they know our dreams. They know who we are. They know where we are. And bad shit's gonna happen. And Filtiarn may or may not be involved in the death of several people.
Yeah, that's about right. My student, would it displease you to know that I had hoped you were lying?
No, I honestly don't blame you.
I need all four of you to understand the danger that this poses. The person you two spoke to, or spoke to you, is Nogistane, my sister. As she starts talking, she undoes the top of this cylinder and pours the tea into a small cup, and then the now steaming hot water onto the cup, flips it upside down, pours more of the hot water onto the teacup, and begins to just circle it with a small bowl for a moment, as if like debating while letting it steep.
Mm.
Nagistane is a... She pauses as if she's trying to think of how best to word the thing she's going to say. Nagistane is a danger to everyone around her. She is a lich. She is a she pauses again. Perhaps one of the most powerful beings. And at one point, she was my sister. She and I come from the same stock. Lushu and Kitsune, the progenitor of Kitsatria. But where I held true to mother and teacher's message and beliefs, she felt burdened by them. One can't grow in the shadow of one's parents in that way. So she took a different path, developed a new style, different methods of control and power until one finally came to her. She could become stronger than Kitsune, our grandest teacher, I suppose, by consuming her siblings.
Hmm.
Right.
And
Lovely.
she partially succeeded. 2 of my siblings are gone because of her actions. 2 of the other ones fell to the sway of her words. You've encountered cultists of one of them, if they are who I believe that they are. You've encountered...
They literally said, the followers of Samaru will not fall.
Samaru is another one of my siblings. A vain, immoral being. Samaru is now more yokai than anything else. The second, Tamamo no Mai, is equally under that same sway and pull. But of the 3, Nogistane is far worse. The other 2 simply want power and luxury. Nogistane wants to become a god, and she is very well near that power. But there is another thing that is more disturbing. She gestures over to both of you. I had to confirm it. But there's a vague scent on you both. A trace, a residue of her contact that contains the scent of something that's not Nagistane nor the Land of Shadows. Something from here. She looks over to Orm. Something from before your time, even.
I'm assuming that would be L and Rummage.
She shakes her head. Long before them as well.
Oh.
A trace scent on the 2 of you that contains the smell of old metal. She looks over to Filtiorn. You did studies where you were from of the DGR units, they were called?
Wait. Are we talking about that big robot that was in the sky?
That was one of them, yes. That's possibly
I
the
mean-
greatest of their creations, sure.
I mean, Rising Peaks have only been doing, those other constructs. I might have remembered some of the frame built mentioning something like that, but I don't have any idea other than that.
Something of their design fell into the Land of Shadows centuries ago during one of the clashes. I had thought it destroyed a long time ago, but its scent is all over both of you. So clearly that's no longer true.
He's just pointing back between himself and Canian. So, we carry the scent of that giant robot?
Not that one in specific.
Are you telling me that they have one of these DGRs with them?
If I recall, it was designated 009 Navaratna.
He's gonna pat himself just to make sure he is all flesh and bones.
She nods. You are, for all intents and purposes, normal. It's just she gestures to her own nose, and you see again the fox-like ears appear. I'm more used to these scents than even my student.
Which he'll finally drop his hood now that your orc friend is gone.
Oh, the tail makes sense.
Oh, I'm not a Casadria.
She pauses, looks over to Orm. L?
Yes. L and Rummage. Rummage is a sweet, sweet construct, though. He's just following instructions.
A construct and a human?
No, shape changer. Definitely appeared as a Kitsadre at one point in time, then a wild elf, then a small child. Which reminds me, I was going to rob everybody, steal the fox statuette, turn it over to them. All part of business, following my contract that I was agreed to. And looks at Adrian from their comment about the payment of I agreed to a singular contract.
She takes the cup that was sitting upside down, flips the plate over, pours that hot water out of the cup, keeping the tea leaves inside, pours another spit of hot water into the cup, and begins to sip on the tea.
Adrian definitely at Orm has a look of like. No, I think he definitely would be like, I rallied to you, man.
And that is the reason why I've made the decision not to do so.
At least he's telling us.
Takes another sip if anything's left.
Yeah.
Also, L picked her pocket when we were in the market and took my share out of the money that was given to you earlier.
Would have given it to you.
I didn't
just
want
ask?
the gold. I didn't want the gold. That was a part of the agreement for the contract that I took. Was that they got the gold.
That
You're not
wasn't
getting
even the
that.
money from the contract. That was my pocket money.
He'll look at Orem then and pull out the carved box tooth. She apparently has a sense of humor.
We all do. We've been living way too long to not have one.
Her eyes narrow. So now, no contract. She looks over to the two of you. I'm telling you, that jade fox goes to me so it can be returned to the bottom of the lake where it's supposed to be, Or Nagisine will be free, and she will kill every single person you know and love, violently and painfully.
So either she kills us or her followers act out and kill us.
You killed some of them, so I have no worry that any student of mine can easily take care of a follower. And if you are allies of the student, I presume that you are able to take care of yourselves.
I mean, they didn't die, so.
Exactly. So I don't have any worry about it.
Adrian didn't even have to fight. That's how good he is.
Huh.
Hey, I cast spells.
Good. So you can
Yeah.
help. That's good.
I mean, if we're dealing with a lich, that will be useful.
The hope is that you won't have to deal with the lich.
Oh, I'm hoping that too.
The goal will
Wait, so sorry, what do we tell Law?
I don't.
Somebody else got to the statue before us.
We can still turn in the other thing for the contract.
We could definitely turn in the other thing and let them know, hey, somebody else got to the other thing. There are multiple parties at play here, obviously, and
we were just told to make sure they get to the right people.
and none of the
To
people
stay out of dangerous hands, if I recall.
and none of the people who we were told not to have this thing ended up with it. So, assumedly,
He'll
Still
glance at
in
his
good
teacher's
standing.
clothing and, well,
I don't know what you're alluding to. That looks like clothes.
I'm just going to ignore that part. Trust me.
Oh, well, now, no, hold on. In my notes, are they wearing clothing from Kukulis?
Cahulas.
Yeah.
Are you asking if Filtiard or is the sensei?
If he's doing a side eye to the teacher.
She is wearing it. It's similar to Cahulian garb, but it's old. This is ancient looking garb.
Okay. I think in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I don't know. I feel like maybe in his drunken state, he's probably thinking, yeah, okay, I trust you.
You play the odds.
As for who I am in this whole venture, she takes a breath. I am QB.
Since she never told me this before, what do I know of this name?
QB's not an unknown name for you, as you use the Sword Saint style, so you know
Uh-huh.
that name. QB is the originator of the concept of being a Sword Saint.
That explains so fucking much.
It explains why your style of fighting disappoints, but intrigues me.
I actually know that name.
He just kind of looks at her and goes, "What the fuck?"
Damn.
Looks
And
over
I
to
thought-
Orm.
And I thought I'm the one who dishes out vicious mockeries. Damn.
His
Look, I just fight how it feels right. Okay.
You're allowed to fight how it feels right. I'm not disappointed in that action. I'm disappointed that it's... She pauses. It's flashy.
Impure.
She nods.
Flashy is fun.
There have been worse users of the Sword Saint methodology. So, I'm still proud of you for its use. I can just be disappointed.
Won't be the first time someone's disappointed in me.
Don't start.
You know, between me and you, Phil TR, and Flashy can be a great thing. can.
I'm just having fun.
It can get, attention your way, and attention can lead to money.
She peels part of the bandage off of the sword that she carries and begins to just unwind the ribbon. As you see, instead of a regular blade, you see this brilliant orange sword be slowly unfurled out of these bandages. She pulls the last of it off. I'm going to say this to all of you with the utmost care that I'm capable of creating for myself. Caution. Retrieve that phylactery. Get it to me, and let us be rid of it so that you do not have to face what might be coming.
Can do.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Now, I do not like being here on the grounds that I can smell that other people are here, and I don't want to be around them.
But L is going to be here.
I don't know who that is.
The person who had me do...
No, I understand, but I don't know who that is. That worries me. So I will keep an eye on them in my own fashion.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, they'll be at Joel's.
She pauses. I'm not from here. What is a Joel's?
It's another tavern named
Oh,
after the guy who runs it. It's in this area.
You hear.
We did lie to them.
You hear from the cellar. Did you direct someone to Joel's? Where the fuck?
Grom, shut up.
I do have one question.
Yes.
She said that she knew where we slept, and that she knew where our families slept.
3 of you have heartbeats, and I'm assuming your families do as well.
Yes, and even though they are alone in this room, Kanian is going to drop to a whisper. I have family in the capital. Am I
In danger?
endangering the capital?
At the moment, she can only reach her servants out to find you, not those in the capital. Yet. She gains more power, she might be able to, so we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. If your family happens to come under danger, I have ways of trying to get help to them.
My family has ways of protecting themselves. If I bring danger to the capital, and it becomes known it was my fault,
We will make sure that doesn't happen.
It wasn't your fault. Adrian's the one who passed it on to you.
What did I do?
because he's drunk, you're so
Or
right.
how about you just do what most people do and just blame me? That seems to work.
Her hand swats the back of your head, like as hard as she can.
Do we all get to do that when he's self-deprecating?
No.
Or just you?
Just me.
Okay. Teacher's orders.
Hey, Kanian, who are you?
No.
Alien?
Well, a little deeper.
Kanian. I, suppose I'm as close as you can get to being a nobody in a well-to-do family. I'm a bastard, and none of my family look like me. Is that enough?
Yeah.
F5.
Just a very pathetic, just like, yeah.
And from what I've learned, they stopped using this as a form of torture, so I'm pretty sure I'm the last one, and I don't look anything like everybody else do.
Yeah, Adrian he just looks at the group and is just like, well, welcome to the crew of potentially nobodies.
She reseals the cylinder, looks at it, looks at the group. I was told not to trust the water here.
Don't.
Yeah, don't.
No.
Taste.
She sets the cylinder down. Take that.
I'll hold that as water skin.
Takes it. Keep that. Points to the cylinder. It contains water from the lands that I'm originating from.
Oh yeah, you take this.
No.
He will take it.
I would recommend potentially not drinking it unless she pauses. Unless you are in the mood for deep meditative states. It can be utilized as a heating element, and the water will refill if it runs out after a few hours of delay. She looks to Filtiarn, and you see her just place her forehead against yours. Be safe.
I can only try.
That's all that I'm asking you to do. Get the phylactery to me. We will find out what they know and what they mean. But do not try to do things of finding that out the wrong way.
Well, I guess if I find out the wrong way, you'll probably know.
Be safe. I don't take students lightly.
Before she
You
leaves,
see his body language kind of like ease. Okay.
Good. Go ahead.
In Sylvan, Orm will tell her, he's a good student.
She replies in Sylvan, I know. That's why I chose him.
I won't remind him that.
She nods. She looks over to Kanian. She smiles. This will be fine. The capital will be safe. I've known less. I've known bastards with less potential.
I'll take it.
She looks over to Adrian. And there's this moment where she looks at him. She just kind of gives this like up and down and begins to walk towards him.
Oh boy.
A literal goddess.
She lifts the butt end of the blade and adjusts where the ring is at on your neck, and just kind of like lifts it to look at it.
Look down at the bolt on the ring.
She'll promise you things. She'll promise to be able to change things, make things better, make it so that things that happened never happen. You'll want to believe her. She has a way of making you believe her. For everyone's sake. Everyone's. Don't. She lets the ring fall back to your chest and turns and begins to walk away.
Take the hat rack out of the door so she can leave.
Yep, she opens it, steps through and out. And as she steps out, you see the form, the ears disappear, a tail disappears as well.
As she leaves, just being silent and hearing everything she said, Adrian will slowly turn back to his mug and put it up to the party and just say, well, here's to playing the odds of fate, my friends. and then finish his drink.
With this cheers,
That's out.
before we end, do the thing that I like to do has now become a signature thing, apparently. Over at Joel's, peering through the upstairs window, in a room that is now caked in blood, the woman who, you see her form shift from the small girl figure to that of a tall, horned woman with lace-like wings, flaps out for a moment. So that's where they are, I'm guessing. If I didn't know any better, Rummage, I'd say that that one lied to us. What do you think, buddy? As she looks back as this massive, deformed monstrosity is pulling apart at this discarded bodies. He picks up with the head of one, reaches in and pulls the tongue free, puts it into his mouth, and you hear this like... Orem wouldn't lie. Oh no, Orem wouldn't lie. The other one's dead. How do you think that should go for them? Orem. Friend? Orem's friend, yes. Are they Orem's friend? With Orem? Doesn't mean friend. Have Shul. We take for 1 of 3. Take for 2 of 3. We've already done good deeds in the name of the first. As she holds her hand out, a heart still held in it as she kind of squeezes it. And we're gathering stuff for the second. We just need to pull strings for the third. As she smiles. So, tomorrow's going to be very fun. We should get you a suit, big guy. She looks back over to Rummage, who just kind of looks down at the disturbing form of him. I'll think of something for you to put on. We can't have Gotham's chosen and Scorn's mistress walking around looking like this, can we? She smiles. And with that, we are going to end for tonight.
Oh boy, me and Kanian are making friends.
We ran a little longer than normal, but that's totally fine. Getting the groove of things, getting story stuff put into place.
Rummage got a tongue.
Rummage got a tongue now.
R.I.P. Joel.
We're going to go around, say who you are, where they can find you, stuff you're doing, things of that nature. Holly, your camera's not working on my thing again, but that's fine. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at RoxasBuddy, Blue Sky Holly Crown, I believe, and itch.io, where I am deep in development hell on like horror fantasy game called Sacrament.
Hell yeah. Also, your camera came back on right when you said that. Hey, Pi, what are you doing? Where they can find you?
I can be found at Pi's Bakery channel here on Twitch, where every other Sunday I stream a Helliana's Guide to Monster Hunting campaign, which is very fun. And then on YouTube at Pi's Bakery as well, where I upload a whole bunch of stuff from Attack on Titan RPG to Gothic horror campaigns to Norse campaigns to video games and more. I am a pie of many flavors, if you will.
Ark, where can they find you?
Hello, I am Ark, or Arc-like Court, your Gridmaster, Lighthouse Keeper, Lore Rider, Beacon onto all beacons. You can find me all over the internet at Arc-like Court. I'm a ttrpg game designer, actual play performer, and game master. Website will be available here in the near future where you could buy my merch. You could buy the games I've written. You can join some of the games that I run online and the things that I do. Find out more information about me and all the cool stuff that I'm doing all over the internet. That website will be available here soon. Morphin Multiverse, which is scheduled for Monday, is TBD currently. The performer for that hasn't gotten back to me. So we may reschedule Morphin Multiverse for another week or continue on after that if I don't hear back, or I do. We'll see. But I have the Heritage Collection, which is a Batman Gotham anthology series that uses the Monster of the Week system. I have one episode left currently in set sail before I set sail because I am a loyal man to one captain and I can't be in two crews at the same time.
No.
And you can also catch me on Wednesdays with Javante over on Pluto's Underworld, where we play Rangers of the Ton, which is a Sentai and Sensibility series, where we're Power Rangers in the Bridgerton timeline, essentially. We're all royalty of some level or degree. Me and Javante are like the very low of the totem pole. But we're also Power Rangers, so we'll see how that works out.
So you're Royal Power Rangers?
Kind of, yes, no.
Okay.
You should just check out the
You should
series.
just watch. Just watch. You should just watch. Panda.
Hi, I'm Red Panda Cola, your, internet panda who likes to play ttrpgs and hang out with his friends. You mostly find me here every Thursday, whether it's playing Filtiarn or playing Dreki on Set Sail, our One Piece 5e game with Javante as our DM. And we do not want Core to go.
I'm a loyal man.
Motherfucker. But generally, you'll find me here. There are things in the works for the future. I'll bring them up when they are relevant. Until then, that's it. Do you want to shill it or should I?
Shill it.
All right. And fitting this game, since we are using the 5.19 system, the creator of the system, Logan Laidlaw, also the DM typically for Nat 19, has recently released a new splash book called, what is it, Lana's Fateful Vault, I believe? Yes. Which is a splash book themed around temptation and luck, based off the goddess, Lana herself. It is on Drive-Thru RPG, where you could also find their setting guide of Retia, the world that we play in for this game. And it's out now, and it is gorgeous.
So good.
So good.
Then there's me. Hi, I was your DM. I run Set Sail, One Piece D&D 5e adventure on the opposite Thursdays of these times. Crazy how we've had two other people talk about that. We're coming up on technically the second arc, which means that
There's two of them.
yeah, there's
What?
there's many arcs. There's a multiverse of arcs. So that's coming up. That'll be fun, especially because I have to contact people about things. Other stuff, yeah. Pluto's Underworld, Sentai Sensibilities, Rangers of the Ton. Hi, I play a knight essentially. I play a blacksmith essentially. It's great. Jesus, what else am I in? Oh yeah, I DM Gotham by Grasslands for a Pokermatic for Black History Month. This Saturday is the last episode where they discovered some crazy shenanigans in our last ep involving Doctor Strange, not Doctor Strange, but a specific individual named Strange, as well as some information on Jet Crane and potentially why the asylum has been in the state that it is in. So come to find the penultimate reason for that, and also give money to Black Girls Rock when that stream comes up. Super awesome fundraiser. We actually raised more money than our goal,
Oh hell yeah!
So, based. Jesus, what else am I doing? I'm working on a ttrpg of my own using the story path system called Axe of Sodom. It's at the point to where now it's just me not wanting to show information about it. That's the reason I'm not showing any information about it. I'm at that point now. So keep an eye on my Twitter feed for information on that. I have another game in the works that's coming up, which will be based around fighting games using the Musha Shugyo system. I haven't posted stuff on that yet because I have to do a quick reread through to figure out exactly how I want this stuff to run and when. But that's coming. It's in the works. It's there. And in a couple weeks' time, I will be streaming a little bit more prevalently on here, as fitting that I enjoy Nat 19 and I enjoy wrestling. WWE 2K25 is coming out, which means that I'm going to be spending literal days making about 100 CAWs of characters from the Nat 19 universe and having them compete in universe mode. I'm going to stream that because I don't have a life, so let's go.
You should battle royale and surprise entrance our characters.
I absolutely will do that.
Yeah. I have 2K24. I could try to make Kanian.
Yeah, do it. Other than that, yeah, other stuff that pops up, you'll see it on my Twitter and on my Blue Sky. Yes, I'm still on the Hellscape. I don't know. I'm also on Blue Sky. I rarely post. I rarely post on Twitter. I just throw things into the ethos and they appear. That's all for the day. Thank you for joining us on this lovely night. We will see you all again later. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you back next in 2 Thursdays. Bye-bye.
Whoop.